My work taught me one truth: aging does not weaken us. Neglect does. Muscles fade when they are ignored, not when years pass. Every morning, the body waits for a signal that life is still required of it. Gentle movement done daily preserves strength, balance, and dignity. This habit is simple, but its impact lasts a lifetime.
After the age of 60, your body can lose up to 1% of muscle every single year, even if you walk daily. Most seniors believe this weakness is just normal aging, but that belief is quietly stealing independence, balance, and confidence. What if the real damage starts every morning? Before breakfast, before movement, before you even realize it. In Japan, elders lived strong, independent lives well into their 90s, not because of gyms or heavy exercise, but because of one simple morning habit. Legendary longevity doctor, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, observed this ritual for decades and believed it protected muscles, balance, and vitality in old age. Today, I'll reveal that exact habit and why skipping it may be accelerating muscle loss without you knowing. Stay with me, because this could change how you age forever. So, the Japanese morning habit that directly protects muscles after 60 is actually gentle neuromuscular activation combined with a warm metabolic trigger. It has two simple parts that are practiced together. Slow standing movement, inspired by Radio Taiso principles, and a warm cup of green tea taken shortly after waking. This isn't exercise in the modern sense, and it's definitely not a workout. It's a deliberate way of waking up dormant muscles and nerves that naturally shut down with age. After 60, the body doesn't lose muscle first. It actually loses muscle communication. When the brain stops sending strong signals to the legs, hips, and core in the morning, muscles weaken even if you walk daily. That's why, many seniors feel stiff, shaky, or unstable when they first get out of bed. Japanese elders address this by activating posture, balance, and blood flow immediately after waking, before breakfast, and before sitting for long periods. The movement portion is slow, controlled, and upright, standing tall, gently, shifting weight, raising arms, rotating shoulders, lightly bending knees, and engaging the feet with the floor. These movements stimulate fast twitch and stabilizing muscle fibers that walking barely touches. At the same time, sipping warm green tea acts as a metabolic signal, increasing circulation, hydration, and cellular readiness without stressing joints or digestion. Together, this habit sends a powerful message to the body. Muscles are still needed. This is why Japanese seniors often maintain leg strength, balance, and independence far longer than Western populations. Walking alone does not reverse muscle loss because it becomes automatic. The brain stops actively recruiting muscle fibers. Morning activation restores that connection. When muscles receive a signal early in the day, protein uptake improves, posture stabilizes, and balance reflexes sharpen. This is especially important after sleep. When muscles are cold, circulation is slower and nerve firing is reduced. Gentle standing movements wake up the hips, thighs, calves, spine, and core without pain, sweat, or fear of injury. The goal is not fatigue, but communication. The green tea supports this process by improving blood flow, reducing low-grade inflammation, and gently stimulating the nervous system without the crash of coffee. This habit also lowers fall risk because balance muscles are trained daily in a calm, controlled state, not under stress. Seniors who practice this consistently often report less morning stiffness, stronger legs when standing up from chairs, and improved confidence while walking later in the day. Importantly, this habit respects aging joints. There is no pounding, no sudden movements, and no floor work required. Everything is done standing or holding onto a chair if needed. This makes it safe for knees, hips, and lower backs. It also works psychologically. Starting the day with success reduces fear of movement, which is a major hidden cause of muscle loss after 60. When seniors avoid movement due to fear, muscles weaken faster. This Japanese habit breaks that cycle gently. Over time, the body adapts by keeping muscle fibers active, improving coordination between brain and body, and preserving independence. It is not about strength alone, it is about function. That is why elders who follow this routine can climb stairs, stand up easily, and walk steadily, even at advanced ages. Consistency is more important than intensity. Just 5 to 10 minutes every morning is enough to create real change, because muscles actually respond best to daily signals, not just occasional effort. This is how Japanese longevity culture approaches aging, not by fighting the body, but by guiding it. When you do this habit daily, it supports muscle retention, balance, posture, and confidence, all without any equipment or strain. Honestly, that makes it one of the most realistic and powerful tools that seniors can start using as soon as tomorrow morning. What makes this Japanese morning habit so effective isn't just what you do, but how your body responds over time when the signal is repeated every single day. Most seniors, though, unknowingly sabotage muscle preservation by approaching movement the wrong way. They rush, they force, or they treat gentle activation like a workout, which just leads to pain, discouragement, and, quitting. So the purpose of this habit is really not to exhaust your muscles, but just to gently remind them that they still matter. One of the most common mistakes is moving too quickly in the morning, especially when your joints are stiff and your nerves are a bit slow to fire. Fast movements can actually shut down your stabilizing muscles instead of activating them. Another mistake folks make is sitting too long before starting their routine. When you stay seated after waking up, circulation tends to pool, your hips tighten, and your brain gets the signal that your body's going to be inactive. That's actually why many seniors feel unsteady when they finally stand up later on. Doing this habit immediately after waking gently reverses that process. A third mistake is skipping days. Muscles after 60 respond poorly to occasional effort, but extremely well to daily repetition. Even 5 minutes every morning is more powerful than one long session once a week. Many seniors also underestimate breathing. Holding the breath during movement increases tension and limits nerve signaling. Slow nasal breathing during the routine enhances oxygen delivery and improves balance reflexes. When done correctly, changes begin quietly but consistently. In the first week, most people notice reduced morning stiffness and smoother movement when standing up. By the second or third week, balance improves, especially during simple tasks like putting on shoes or turning while walking. Around the 1 month mark, leg strength becomes noticeable, not as bulk, but as control. Chairs feel lower, steps feel easier, and the fear of falling begins to fade. This happens because the brain-muscle connection strengthens. Muscle loss after 60 is not only about protein or age, it is about disuse at the neurological level. When the brain stops recruiting certain fibers, they shrink. This habit reactivates those pathways daily. Another reason this works is that it trains muscles in a low-stress state. Stress hormones rise sharply with intense exercise. When this habit becomes part of your morning, it slowly reshapes not just your muscles, but your entire relationship with aging. Japanese elders did not separate movement, health, and mindset. They treated them as one system. This is why the habit works best when paired with a simple daily rule: consistency before comfort. You do it even on low-energy days, even when motivation is missing, because the body responds to rhythm, not emotion. Performed before breakfast, before prolonged sitting, and before distractions, this routine tells your nervous system that strength is still required today. Over time, the body adapts by preserving muscle fibers, maintaining joint stability, and improving posture automatically. This is why many seniors who follow this approach walk taller, move with less hesitation, and feel more secure on their feet. The habit also protects independence. Standing up from the bed, reaching overhead, shifting weight side to side, and grounding the feet reconnect daily survival movements that modern life slowly erases. Combined with warm green tea, the body enters the day hydrated, alert, and gently stimulated without stress. This supports digestion, circulation, and cellular repair, all of which indirectly affect muscle maintenance. What makes this approach powerful is that it does not rely on willpower. It relies on routine. Once embedded, it becomes automatic, just like brushing teeth. Seniors who adopt this habit often report fewer aches, better coordination, and a renewed sense of control over their bodies. They stop fearing movement and start trusting it again. This psychological shift is critical because fear accelerates physical decline. When movement feels safe, the body stays active. When it feels dangerous, muscles shut down. Japanese longevity culture understood this deeply. Aging was not treated as a battle, but as a phase requiring smarter signals. You do not need to chase youth or punish your joints to stay strong. You need to communicate with your body daily, calmly and intentionally. Even if you are starting late, the body still listens. Muscles at any age respond to gentle, repeated signals. The goal is not to reverse time, but to preserve function. Strength after 60 is not measured by how much you lift, but by how easily you stand, walk, and live without assistance. This habit supports exactly that. It fits into real life, respects limitations, and works quietly in the background. If you try this tomorrow morning and repeat it for 2 weeks, you may notice subtle changes: less stiffness, better balance, smoother movement. With time, those small changes compound into confidence. That confidence restores independence, and independence is the true measure of healthy aging. This is not a secret reserved for Japan. It is a reminder of what the human body has always needed: daily movement, gentle activation, and respect. If you commit to this simple morning habit, you're not just protecting your muscles, you are protecting your